Yeah.
Man, do you know what? Record, because I just want to add a little bit extra bits for the beginning. You get me? Like,
it has still been recording.
like you know, like them ones and thing. Like, just want to add them. You know, get me? You know that got the 1 2 3 1 2 frizzle. I want a bit of like, yeah, get me? Just a bit more. Just want to add like a them ones and thing and cheese and I don't know.
Oh, you want to add that to the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. All right.
I was talking to you like you understood what I was saying. Sorry.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3
1 2 3 1 2 frizzle.
Give her a call now.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, actually, is that how I do it? How do I do it? Here we go.
Yo.
I'm here
See the
still.
name there?
Huh?
Elysa.
Elysa, that's right.
Alrighty. Them ones and teens.
Sweet until.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so surprised to be getting this call.
Wow. Nageli, Junior.
Hello. Oh, there's quite a.
Huh?
There's a bit of an echo. There's a bit of an
there is.
echo going on. Is that for you as well?
No, I don't
can
hear
hear
an
it.
echo.
I can hear it.
Can you guys hear it? Hold on.
Now I can't.
Can you hear it now still?
Oh,
Let
no.
me see.
So, blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah blah. Bizzle.
No, it seems like it sorted itself out.
Right.
Yeah, it started there. I heard it as well. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Alright.
You just
So Junior, Michael, you're talking to Elysa. Elysa, you're talking to Michael. Elysa, the reason why I call him Junior is
Hello,
So
because
hang on,
his name.
is it Junior or Michael?
No,
yeah, that's a story in itself, man. No, well, growing up, I was called Junior as a nickname because I'm
Okay.
Michael Junior. I'm junior to my dad, same name as my dad, Michael. But yeah, obviously my certificate is Michael, and professionally I'm Michael. Like at work, I'm Michael.
Okay.
The people who I grew up with call me Junior, so that's really
Okay, I see. Okay.
the
Okay.
basic.
Okay.
Or
And
Dun
what would you like me to call you? Junior or Michael Junior?
What we like, really, to be honest.
Okay. I'll just call you
it's all
Babe.
Yeah, that'll cut over if you want. Yeah, and Michael Junior. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
cool.
And you're joining? Are you joining us from London, or I've got a feeling you're not in London?
No, I'm in Barcelona at the moment.
Yes, that's
Well,
it.
Yeah,
Barcelona's a lovely place.
yeah, it definitely is.
It is.
The live there, yeah, I'm loving it every year. I'm here. You've been there before then a few times.
Yeah, been about I think three times.
Oh, okay.
I was last there in June. Yeah, I love it for
Yeah,
lots of reasons. It's got like basically everything, isn't it?
Exactly. That's
Beautiful.
damn, man.
So what have you two been? So have you two? You've just got on the phone as well, or have you already been talking for a while?
This is basically the beginning of the call.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the beginnings.
Yeah, man. We just can't do it, man.
This
It's
is
like
where
this.
it begins.
So we're just gonna
Begin
flow
it.
because we
Yeah,
haven't.
there's no real structure.
Huh?
There's no real structure to it.
No, not yeah. Because today also as well, we haven't done a call for we haven't done a show for what 2 weeks ish. Also, because we took like a break over the Christmas and New Year's time. So this is the first one of the year. So you are our first female guest of this year.
Oh yeah.
On the first show of this year, 2017.
Yes. Shizzle.
So, I mean, I don't know, how are we all feeling at the moment about love life? about the future of this year, because it's the new year. It's a new yeah, I'm just bringing it up and let's just see what comes up, right? Let's see what
we're gonna use the L word in this phone call, really?
The L word, that's right. Love life, innit? Like, love life. Like, what? I mean, because it's the new year. I mean, it's irrelevant because it's just another year, right? It's like life. It's just another part of the journey. But you know, like how, you know, there's that, I suppose, feeling in the air sometimes that people feel like, it's a new year, so it's a new chapter, it's a new part of the journey, and da-da-da-da-da.
Well, we are just past the winter solstice. That's what resonates more strongly to me than the new year. It is. We're just coming into the light from the darkness, as they would say in like pagan witchcraft, even though obviously I'm not a witch, but
Elysa,
we're just past the winter solstice. So I think there is kind of something in that. I think it does get lost a bit in the whole like you said, New Year thing. But there's something in that. We're definitely, like, the energy's changing now. We're actually, even though it seems like we're in the depth of winter and we're going further into winter, we're actually now going further into summer than winter. So things are becoming lighter.
Damn, 1s and 2.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the solstice, like summer solstice, up in what do you call it?
Yeah, to Stonehenge.
Yeah.
At Stonehenge. Yeah. No, I was at Glastonbury, and I was at the Glastonbury tour like 2 days before this winter solstice, and I've been to Stonehenge, but I've never been on a actual solstice.
Yeah, I did it one time. It was really interesting. Very interesting experience.
Was it a summer one you did?
It was summer, because I went for my birthday, because my birthday's on the 21st of June.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah.
So, it was just the whole, but the place as well was just quite mysterious to look at because of the stones.
Yeah, and you're like, how did they get them there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And did you have fun? Was it full of people like with their drums singing and celebrating?
Yeah, there was loads of different people there, like a mixture of different types of people, costumes and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a cool kind of.
Yeah, it looks really good. I want to go. This 2017, I'd like to be there actually for one of the celebrations.
Sking bing.
Damn, cancel that one in.
Yeah. So Junior, what about you? What's present for you?
What's present? Boy. 2017. Now I might be moving into the missus, boy.
What?
Yeah. So a lot of things have kind of changed still. You said you want to talk about the L word, boy. Don't know.
Are you feeling that? You're in that.
Well, the thing is, Elysa, when we first started doing this, we were both single.
Yeah.
We both had a very different perspective on the L word and dating and all that thing. Like, you know, it's just two guys just talking about it and what Tinder's like and, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But now I'm in love, innit? So, like, now it's just a different experience for me. Like, it's just very different. And like, there's just a different angle that I'm seeing things from now versus to how I was before when we first started doing the show. Even before the show anyway, just in general, just in life in general, I've kind of always ran away from commitment. Like, anything to do with settling down with someone always felt like a bad idea, and what if it goes wrong, and trying to like defend myself and things like that. But now I find myself just being a lot more vulnerable and just being like, well, just try things, and if it doesn't work, and then, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, you might just end up being friends, or maybe not that. You know, some people it gets worse. You know, it's quite bitter, but for the most part, it's all about how you want to deal with it in the end. And I just find myself just being more open to things like moving in with someone and seeing how that journey unfolds and meeting her parents, which is a big thing for me. That, like, I mean, for some people it's not a big deal, but for me it's quite a big deal because I've never really had that experience before. And I'm in my 30s, so for someone to not have that experience in their 30s, it just feels a bit weird for the fact that I've met so many girls in my time, but I've not really met their parents or never been in that position where, oh yeah, I can meet the parents now. Like, you know, we've been together for this long. So yeah, it's still quite fresh for me. And yeah, I just think at the moment I'm just taking it all on in it. I'm just taking it on 100%, and whatever unfolds. But I'd say I'm very happy in terms of the L word at the moment, and just taking it my stride, really. You just have to take it day by day.
Yeah.
And we're not perfect.
And that's so nice to hear that that you're someone that's, like, you described yourself as a bit of a commitment phobic in the past, and now you're, you know, experiencing everything you're experiencing, and it sounds like you're living quite heart openly, shall we say, and it's really nice to hear for someone to have that experience of what they were like before, being like, kind of, I mean, usually when people are commitment phobics, it's somewhere they're resonating with fear because they're worried about something goes wrong, and that now you're like the other side of that, and you're open to experiencing commitment, I suppose, in a relationship.
It's just experiencing like the decision making that we're going to have to do now. It's not just my decisions, like it's a teamwork thing now, and like the whole moving in thing, like it's not just like maybe I'm there quite often in it, so I'm staying there quite often at a house anyway. So like you'd say, oh yeah, well, it's like you're living together anyway, but
yeah, it makes sense, kind of thing.
But, yeah, it does make sense. But then my flatmate actually told me something, and I was like, right, that makes a good point, you know. He said that obviously you have to make decisions around the home because you're living in that home together. There's various things that I'm doing at the moment, even though I don't live there, even though I'm seeing her quite often, that's going to shift when we live together. Like, for example, decision making on what we're going to eat every day, shopping, the distribution of the home, where I put my clothes. Maybe I've got too much junk in this home, and where I'm just dealing with it now, moving into someone else with having that stuff, it might affect them as well in their living space. Or I might notice, oh my god, like, you got so much clothes here, why have you got so much clothes? And like how that might affect me. You know, like just little things that, you know, when you live by yourself, you might not think is a very big deal. So yeah, like, I don't know, I just feel like I just want to just take it on. Doing whatever step that is I'm going to take. You know, it might happen, it might not, but it's something that we're talking about, and it's very highly likely it's going to happen. And I'm excited. But yeah, I mean, if you heard the earlier audios, I wasn't really talking like this before. Really.
I know, it's a massive shift, isn't it?
Very different now, but it's almost funny just listening now, like just thinking, like how things shift.
Do you know what I think though? I think those kind of conversations made a difference in like just releasing lots of resistance and aligning with, like, I suppose what was underneath maybe doubts and stuff like that for both of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Through us talk, because it's like as time, the journey's gone on, it's like we've had more and more insights, more and more things show up for us to be aligned, that will actually align, that are actually like resonate with us. But there were at times when we were sharing, it was almost like, not that we were trying to fight what was maybe potentially resonating, but we were trying to fight the I don't know, I suppose the what could go wrong with it, or the what.
Yeah, we was always trying to anticipate things.
Something, yeah, in some
be
cases.
ahead of the game
before they happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. The raw chat, the raw conversations, and sometimes things come of it.
Yeah.
Like, God knows what's going to come of this conversation. You know, like there's loads to learn about you, Elysa, and I'm sure you might share a lot more. We want to hear more about your perspective of it all as well. And something.
Yeah, and I know there's lots to learn off both of you. I can feel it, and you've already been. You know, I think there's something where if you are like you two have been manifesting something in your talks, and I've listened to I think it was quite a long it must have been quite a long one of your talks from quite a long time ago, but I listened to that a few months ago, and I think that if you two have been like putting energy into these talks and like working with each other, you've been like manifesting something. So I know that there's I can learn a lot, just like, you know, listeners can learn a lot. And I guess you two probably, I'm guessing, did you two like kind of have these conversations anyway as your friends, and then one day you were just like, hang on a minute, we should record this?
Yeah, we used to send each other bare audio notes. Sometimes 50, like maybe we'll send 3 each, but they'd be like 15 minutes worth.
Man, actually, you gotta light on the minutes there, man. Some of them have been an hour, some of them have been 45 minutes, boy. Sometimes we do some bad ones. And yeah, Elysa, we're cousins, isn't it? So we're family.
Yeah, so
we've always spoken this in this type of way. Just in general, about life in general, not just love life, but just like empowering each other in general, like just with projects or just general life stuff, I guess. It's always nice, and I definitely want to hear the female perspective, because it's been a while since we had a female guest on.
Exciting!
Yeah. so and you're a Londoner as well, right? Or you sound like you are.
Well, yeah. I'm like Southwest, so I am London. No, I am. I mean, you know, in the scheme of things, I'm a Londoner, but I'm like Southwest.
Okay.
Italian heritage.
I'm in the zone.
Italiano.
So I'm just about him. Yeah, no, I'm Italian by blood. I'm Italian Maltese.
Okay, that's good, because we know Italians are very open, very straight, straight to the point.
Yeah, pretty open and straight. Definitely straight. Well, but I'm not straight. But I'm straight talking.
Did you get that, Pino?
Yeah.
So
did you get that?
I mean, what's your story? I mean, do you feel like, in terms of the L word, the love conversation, do you feel like you're content where you are at the moment, or is there something that you feel's missing? A place you may want to be?
I would say I've been quite lucky in the sense that I've experienced love, two I can call them both great loves, two relationships where I've been in love and I've experienced love, and I experienced one when I was 18 and one when I was 23. So I would say in that sense I'm very grateful that I have I have been in that space, and I've lived with my partner and with both relationships actually. So I wouldn't say that I'm lacking it in the sense of I've never had that and I want to have it, which I'm as I'm kind of like getting more experience and as I'm getting older, I've realised that I am really lucky to have had those experiences, because a lot of people don't have them until a bit later in life.
Yeah.
But I think where I am at the moment, I had a very painful breakup over a year ago now, about 14, 15 months ago, and that was the first time I've experienced heartbreak and betrayal. And where I am at the moment is more coming to peace with love, in a sense of feeling like free to love, I suppose, because I'm working on being healed, I suppose, or my heart is still kind of, still healing.
Yeah.
You feel like you're scared to love again?
Yeah, or you know what? I think
or not scared,
it's not
but
even,
as in you do it, but as in...
I really believe I don't have the capacity at the moment to love again, because
right.
I am... yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay.
Because if I am still kind of not... if I'm not at peace with my last love or someone, and I really do believe that when you truly love someone, if you break up, that love doesn't go anywhere. Like, you know, love is energy. It doesn't just disappear. It changes. Your love for them will change, but you still hold a place for them in your, somewhere in your heart. You still love them. And you might not like them, but but the reason that you know, if you really truly love someone, you have that, and you love them on a level of like just like pure compassion, then it doesn't just disappear. So I feel that until I can kind of be at peace with like past love, and that really truly means being at peace with myself, because I mean I was talking to Ashley about this the other day, but it isn't really a thing of me being at peace with him. It was a guy. It's actually about being at peace with myself,
exactly,
around the situation. And I think until I'm kind of there, I don't think I have the capacity, or if I did meet someone that I did want to love, you know, and I thought I really liked this person, I think I'd probably step back, because I'd be like, well, you know, I know I can't give you the love you deserve at the moment, because I don't want to spend like 10% of our relationship, my mind somewhere else, because my mind is regurgitating over shit from my old relationship, or I don't want to be with you, and the only reason that I'm not having that 10% back there thinking about it is because I'm with you, and I'm like diverting my attention, because I think we all know that only lasts a certain amount of time, and then you're gonna have to go back to that 10%, because if you're not done working through stuff, you can distract yourself as much as you like, but it'll come up in other ways. So so I think the place I'm in at the moment is that I've just not really I have like urges where I'm like, I want to feel love, and I know I can give a lot of love, and I want to have that again, that sweet love in my life. My gut feeling is that at the moment it's not. I still need to like come at peace with what happened with that breakup.
Wow. And you know, the thing is, what I'm hearing there, and like what I've mentioned to Ashley as well, is that, you know, what you said about coming at peace with yourself about the situation, to be able to love again, is that your mind is always going to reference from something that's happened before to keep you ahead of the game. So it's always going to reference, you have to try and, you know, protect yourself now. So no matter how much someone does for you at the moment, like of course, like you're saying, you have to forgive yourself, you have to forgive the person as well. There is just that your mind is always going to just trigger, hold on, remember what happened last time? So it's never going to leave that thing. But how you relate to that is what's going to make the difference. It's how you relate to that conversation that always ends up popping up to protect you from what happened previously. Because it's always going to be there. I mean, I was getting it all the time. Like, with my breakups, I'd always hold on to them like, yeah, but look what happened there, man. It's going to happen again. And the conversation's always going to come up. But I've already told you what's happened to me now and how I feel about things now. Another thing that's changed is the shift of how I look at that thing that the mind kept on bringing up as evidence that, look, listen, this happened before, it's going to happen again. Look, just trying to protect you, Mike. Like, that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to protect you. So I guess it's a lot to do with just letting go, which is going to be the key. And that's
me actually laughing because what he was saying the other day. We should have recorded that phone conversation after.
That would have been powerful. I didn't think of it at the time, and also because that wasn't even in my head then. But yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. Like we I think in life we don't really remember days too much. We remember memories, right? So you're always gonna remember that memory of that phone call, and that's what's gonna be alive anytime you want. As a reference, which is good. So keeping those things alive, those conversations alive. But just the mind is always going to try and trick you.
And so for you, do you think it was more about, rather than actually what happened in the past, it was more about your mind and how you related to your mind when those thoughts came up of like, oh, this could happen again?
Yeah, it's like it's like my mind was building up a story of why it's not a good idea to get in a relationship with someone again, or to do things again that might get me in that situation again. Because it always used it as a reference, it always used it as an example. It's like, but look at that, look what happened there. This and this happened. It's going to happen again. Why is it not going to happen again? Because we don't know the future. We can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow. We have an idea of what we're going to do tomorrow. I have an idea of what I'm going to do when I finish the call, but there's no guarantee of what's actually going to happen. Like, I could say, I'm going to go straight to bed after this call, and then my flatmate might come in, say, oh, the dog just got attacked, or something happened, we need to go to hospital now, can you come do that? Like, anything could happen right now in the future. But as far as I'm aware, I'm going to be going to sleep after this call, right? You see what I mean? It's like, but the mind's always going to go into the past as a reference of like, so out of 9 times out of 10 after the call, what have you normally done? You've normally gone to bed, so the chances are you're going to go to bed. It's like the mind just loves to use reference points all the time, and your last reference is the heartbreak. That's the last reference you have. So it's just understanding that we can't predict the future. We don't know who your next love's going to be. We know someone's going to come in your life that's going to show you love again. We know that's for sure. We just don't know how. And it's up to you when you want that to happen. Because of course it's you that's going to be living the journey. You saying yes, let's go on a date, or no, not going to go on a date because I've experienced this. It's just how we're going to relate to what happened, because you said that before this you had a relationship before that as well. So you have to understand that there's always going to be a moment where we're going to get over something that was very strong for us at that point. There was something that was very, very strong for me before. So it's very, like, it felt very strong anyway. If I look at it now, it wasn't as bad as I thought it is now. When I think about it now, I laugh. I think, oh, bloody hell, like, I was really, really, sensitive about that. But in that moment, you're just believing your thoughts. Your thoughts just tell me, well, look at this. Walking all over you, look at this, this, and this. It's like, and as soon as you find yourself agreeing with your mind, that's when you know you're fucked.
Yeah.
As soon as you're having a conversation,
you go down that route.
Agree. Yeah. And I told Ashley this a couple of episodes ago, I think.
Yeah.
You just got to try and catch yourself when you just really getting yeah, man, that's so true. Look at this. Look at this, this, and this. And we all do it. There's people in mental homes and they say, oh, it's because they're talking to themselves. But everyone talks to themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's bad. It's almost scary actually when I think about that. We're no different to them at all. But
I think it was yesterday evening. I was trying to get to sleep, and when I spoke to Ashley, we had spoken about how sometimes it is as simple as when your mind is just going over stuff, you just have to, they call it mindfulness in different practices, but you kind of just have to step back and be like, hang on a minute, I can choose not to listen to that and like dive into that, think about that for like the next 30 minutes. I can actually divert my attention and think of this in a different way. And I was lying there, my mind was like just going over like just the situation and like what could have happened or what should have happened or why did this happen, why did they do that. And I think it's one of the first times I was just like, it kind of almost made me feel a bit insane, because I was like talking to myself like properly, like Elysa, like you need to stop, like we need to stop, or you need to stop, like I don't know if it's we or you, but this needs to stop, and we need to think about pasta or something, because this is only going one way and it's not to sleep. So I think there is, which is mindfulness. They call it mindfulness, like they in different practices, but it's like a awareness of. The mind is such a strong thing.
A massive tool, yeah.
It's just about how we use it.
Like you have to think. Some people use it to be directors and make incredible movies and incredible series, episodes or whatever it may be. Like scriptwriters. Like we're doing the same thing all the time. Like any of us could be scriptwriters. It's just our mind is really built for that, just to escalate things and look at different scenarios. And I think we just like that. We like hearing storylines. Why do people love Netflix? Going to cinema all the time. Like we're doing it in our day-to-day life anyway. But it's just really just understanding that that's all it is.
It's almost like an addiction as well.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Like actually being addicted to thinking.
Or even, and I think some people
the type of thinking as well.
And I think some people are more prone to do it, especially like, I mean, everyone thinks, but I think some people are more prone to think about their past.
I think
relationships or dramas than others.
No, I think that's everyone, but I think maybe to the degree comes down to the person's habit. Like if a person's habitually learned to do that more than someone else, but I think everyone would do it. Everyone has probably done it.
But then some people have avoidance as well, don't they? Like some people, if they know they've maybe done something wrong or that wasn't very nice, they're purposely like avoid thinking about that and kind of put their head in the sand so they don't have to think about it. But I don't think that probably works really, because they're probably like, it ends up that they have something like deep down there somewhere that they avoid. But
that's suppressing.
I think suppressing it. Some people suppress it. Like I would definitely say I'm not saying it's any better, but I'm like the other end of the spectrum. I just like think, repeat, like, you know, the opposite to suppressing. But I think some people, their way of coping with stuff is like suppressing it.
But it does come down to that vicious circle thing, Ash. You know, where what you make things mean. And I think ultimately, as a whole, it's really how we make things mean that really gives us those sensations. And you know, another day, like I was saying before, it's like if you have 3 people that have had the same situation happen to them, and they all reacted differently, it's only because of the way they've related to it and what it makes it mean. It's like with the N-word, for example, if it's used to a black person, someone might be like, "Oh, well, you know, not a big deal." Another person might get really angry, start shouting like, "What did you say? You racist?" Another person might be like, you know, I don't know what does that word mean? I've never heard that in my life before. Okay, you know, like, and I think we're getting in a generation. I think that the more years that go ahead, I think there's even going to be black people that actually don't even know what the N-word's supposed to mean, and when they hear it, they're not going to think that it was actually what it was from history. And there's going to be some people that hold on to it and get angry anytime anyone uses it, if it's a song lyric or whatever. But the fact is, the same thing got said to 3 different people, and they reacted to it differently, only because of the way they related to it, what they made it mean. Oh, but you're trying to attack me, so they get angry. Oh, you're not attacking me, you're just saying that because, I don't know, like, it's just a word that you feel comfortable using for me. Okay. And I think with everything in life, it's just about how we relate into it, really. And the day. So how you relate. So just bringing it back to like the whole heartbreak thing. It's like how you relate into it. There's something that you're relating to it that has something to do with that. Maybe you felt you could have dealt with that better, or you wish you could deal with it better, or that shouldn't have happened to you, or something you've done in this scenarios makes you feel that you're relating to it differently. And with some people, as soon as they find that what it is, it helps them a little bit more to move on with it. And I guess when I look at all the, if we want to call heartbreak, for my perspective, it might, for other people they might think, well, you say you're heartbroken, but it wasn't that much of a big deal, Mike. But like, obviously I've seen the way I dealt with it, how much weight I lost over it.
But I think it's all relative as well, isn't it?
So it's all like relative. What I realised about the whole thing, because but basically, like I was saying, I lost weight over it. Like I was 9 stone. I'm 6'2", so like 9 stones. Wow. Like that's mad thin.
You had that heartbreak thing where you didn't want to eat.
Yeah, didn't want to eat.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
But this is the thing. Like when I look back now, and I think that was just my fault, because it's how I related to it. I related it to being in a cage, related to being trapped, all these type of things that I'm saying that another person's doing to me, but I'm a free human being to do what I like. Like she didn't control my life. She wasn't like my mother who gave birth to me, you know. Like it's someone that I've met on my journey and decided to be in a relationship with, and I want to blame her for losing weight, blame her for trapping me, blame her for this, that. It's like, it's how I related to it. Like that's how I related to being trapped, but I wasn't trapped. Like I could have easily just said, oh, do you know what, this ain't for me, losing a lot of weight here for this, like this is not really healthy, should go now. You do what you got to do, I do what I got to do. Of course at the moment when you're in it, it doesn't look that clear, does it? But it was that clear, because if it's that clear now, why could it be clear then? Only because I related to it differently. That's the only thing that could be different, is the relation to it. So yeah, like you know that there's going to be a moment where you relate to this differently, and that's what's going to be the key.
And then it's kind of like, I think when I spoke to Ashley the other night, I really felt I really came to a different place with it. I had one of those like aha moments. And I think it's also about being able to remember that place that you're in when you relate to it differently, so that when you habit, because for me it's been over a year of habitually thinking even though I've tried to like change it, I obviously haven't been that successful, so I've got like a lot of like neuro memory now logged on for the way that I think about that situation. So it's about like remembering that space, so that when your brain does, when you get into that kind of pattern, you can like bring yourself back and remember
exactly
that you can, that you can relate to differently, because it is really, it's so empowering really, when you just accept that, even though it can be a bit painful, but when you accept that actually this is for me, this is the way that I'm relating to a situation that's causing me this pain. Because like, as Ashley said to me the other day, like, you know, nothing's happened to me in over a year really to do with this situation. Nothing, it hasn't been, I haven't actively broken up with him every day for the past 14 months, you know. This is, so it's about the way that I'm relating to that, and the way that I'm handling and dealing with that, which is like bringing it into my everyday life in like a painful way. But there are another way to look at it.
Exactly, it's the holding on, because in 14 months you've been holding on to what's upset you about it, and you can continue to do it. Like, this is the thing, is that we can continue to do it, and And it just makes you realize that it's up to you when you let go of it, and when you're comfortable with letting go of it. And it's all going to come from something very unexpected. But it's going to come from you saying, oh wow, like I don't really have to hold on to this anymore, because there's a reason that holding on to it now is benefiting you, ego wise anyway. For men, definitely ego wise. For men, it's guaranteed ego wise. It's like a sob story for men. Like for me, it's a sob story. Like people are like, oh yeah, she was horrible. Yeah man, it's good that you broke up with her. I got to tell stories about how I'm a great guy. You know, I did all I could for her, and look what she did. You know, like she didn't do anything. Like all she did was be herself, and she had behaviors that didn't work for me, and all I had to do was to say, this doesn't work for me as a human. You know, I require this type of level of, you know, partnership with someone, and this is kind of where the line draws. You know, where we draw the line, and you know, it could be really as simple as that. You know, like just setting a limit. But no, I kept along with it because I was insecure, and yeah. Like you get to tell people, you know, how much of a great person you are and how bad that person is. Like, and it doesn't help you. Like, what I realize is that it doesn't. It's not going to help. And I did it for years as well. Like I think a couple of years. So I know where you're coming from now. Like obviously we had different experiences, of course, but I can relate to just like after a year, it still hurts. You still feel that you want to hold on to it, but then there comes a point where you can let go and you feel, well, do you know what, I want to let someone else in here. And there's always going to be someone that's there willing to take on that role again. It's mad, man. It's crazy.
It's so nice to hear someone that's like the other side of holding on to stuff.
Yeah, no, we all do it. I think a lot of us do it. It's just, you know, you get these motivational speakers that like they sound like they're, you know, everything's perfect in their life because they're telling you how to move forward with things and how to be motivated, how not to be lazy anymore, and you know they have the same things. Like they've never said, yeah, do you know what, I'm immune to this. Like they just have their methods to how they deal with it and how they relate to things. Yeah, and the practices that they put into their life to help them to deal with those things better. But those things never change. Like people get those billionaires that are very unhappy. You think, bloody hell, man. Like, you think they'd be happy with their money? Like, you know, they could just do what they want. They can, you know, just fly to another country where the sun's out and go on the beach and sit down and relax for the whole day. But if their mind is in a crap hole, thinking about all the horribleness that happened before they got there, doesn't matter how much you spend on that flight, that jet, and being in the most amazing place in the world. If your mind's not intact, you're still going to feel crap. You're going to be in the most amazing place, but you're going to feel like crap. That's the same with our journey. Like, we just need to know how to relate to everything, so those things can be even better. So when we on that jet, we can enjoy that jet. If you're rich, that is. But yeah, it's our mind.
But then that's perceptual too.
It is. You have to think. This is. It's echo again.
Oh,
don't know if it's me.
It's gone now.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Boom! Shake the room.
Mine's still there. But you know what? I think I can deal with it.
All right.
I think it'll go soon.
I think it's gone, isn't it? I think it's gone now.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Wait.
Yeah, it's gone. Good.
Cool.
Well, yeah, like you have to think. Yeah, we're all in different parts of. Well, I'm in a different part of the world. I mean, you guys. I don't know where you are, now, but you obviously. Yeah. Yeah, you're technically both in different places, but like our settings is that I'm in my room and I'm talking to you guys. Yeah. Through my laptop. And the only thing that matters right now is our conversation, and that is it. Like right now, this is all that's happening right now. And you just have to soak that in, that we're just in our minds, what our thoughts are of that, and our conversations, and that's it. No one else knows this is happening. Not one person in the world knows this is happening until we post it tomorrow, of course. but it's just like really just taking that in like that. Unless we share something, no one's gonna know. So you have to think that our heads are telling us all the things that are shaping our life at the moment.
Yeah,
it's so mad. It's so crazy that someone could say to me tomorrow, how are you? And I could say I'm fine, and in my head I could be saying I had the worst day ever. But I've just said to the person I'm fine, and they can actually believe me. So Mike, I saw him the other day, he said he's fine. It seems everything's great. It's nuts. Like, we're talking now, I don't know how your day's been. Like, I have no idea. You might have had the worst day ever, and you just felt, you know what, I've got over the day. Like, whatever happened today, I've actually got over it now. I'm just going to be on the call present and enjoy the call. I feel a little bit better now.
Are you really
You know what I mean? It's crazy, Ash. Guys, it's crazy. Like, we just have to take that in, that like the heartbreak thing, the you know, our situations in life, it's all in our head.
Yeah.
Because unless we share it, no one's gonna know.
And then the interesting thing is if you are like the way that you do think about something, especially if it's like a way that you're quite attached to, then when you ask yourself, why am I thinking about it in this way? Like, what am I getting out of it? Like, why am I stuck in this behavior of thinking about it in this way? And because generally everything we do has a motive. So when I looked into it deeper, on a deeper level, why I was holding on to this, like what happened, I saw that it's because somewhere, although I didn't consciously realise this, somewhere I thought that by holding on to it, I would somehow get rid of like the injustice of the situation, and somehow there would be justice somehow. So something would happen. Like if I spoke about it enough, cried about it enough, held on to it enough, was stubborn enough about it, then it would result in justice or something being fair about it, which then would result in me finding peace. And obviously, when you actually look at it, it's not an exam. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I like work holding on to it, and like, you know, making sure like people that I talk to know the truth about the situation, or you know, whatever. It's not actually gonna. I can't control it. It's completely out of my control. So one, it's not going to bring justice, and two, it's actually quite impossible now because we're like a year and a bit down the line. So you know, it's like I can't actually, you know, go back in time and change what happened. And then when now that I've kind of realised, oh well, that's kind of why I've been doing that, it kind of gave me some relief, because I'm like, I don't have to. I know that that's a dead end. Like on a being sensible about it, when you look at it like not in an emotional way, when you look at your emotions in a practical way and like practically, why am I doing that? When you can see that it's like a dead end, then you can you get that understanding again of the power of the mind, and you can take it back a notch.
Exactly. It's holding you back, and the thing, man, I think this episode's a lot to do with letting go. It really is into letting go, because you have to think, for 14 months it's just holding on to something that you're standing for. You're standing for just protecting yourself, and you know, and being you know, you want to justify the situation for, you know what, I didn't deserve this, and like, this is what you're holding on to, all these things.
And
especially as at the time I didn't stand up for myself. So I think part of it was that I felt that I've been almost like serving myself in standing up for myself afterwards. I let people walk all over me then, but I'm not going to now. I know better now. So I'm just going to walk all over myself.
That's the funny thing though, or the ironic thing, because it's in the ego, or whatever you want to call it, that side thinks, oh, if I don't let go of this, then I'm not going to be able to protect myself. Because when you think of letting go of it, you feel, oh, I'm not protecting myself.
You feel like giving up,
But really, that is the most self-serving, loving thing you can do, is letting go of something you don't have control over.
Exactly. Because what's done is done, and it's also like, it's forgiving, like, because there wasn't a piece of paper, like, you have to think, like, when I was born, or when we was all born, there wasn't a specific person designated to us, like, you know what, when you get to 24, this person's going to come in your life, they're going to be in your life forever. They've broken integrity, and you know what, like, you shouldn't trust anyone ever again. Like we weren't given that type of rule, like, when we was born. Like, we come into this world, we meet someone, we like them, we see how things go, they have something that stops them from wanting to continue with you, or you have something that stops you from wanting to continue with them, and then you stop continuing that journey with each other. In that journey, there was nothing said that they had to stay with you. There's nothing said that they had to be loyal to you. There's nothing said that they have to be with you forever. Like, none of that is in this life journey. So, like, with my situation with my girlfriend at the moment, there's nothing saying that I'm going to be with her forever. But what am I going to do? I'm going to stay in it until it's very clear that we're really not going to work. And we can have that conversation when that comes up. It's not come up now. So we just continue the journey. But there's nothing that sits there with me. Exactly, if that ever comes up. But there's nothing for me to sit down and say, okay, well, do you know what? We're in love now, so we have to make sure we stick this one through to the end. Like, there's, anything could happen. Like, another day, we just have to forgive the person for not being ready for what we were ready for. And we have to forgive ourselves for taking it so personally. Because it wasn't personal. Like, it was like, whatever happened between you both, like, it's based on that person, what was going on for them. And they made a decision. Yeah, they made a decision to do what they did based on the issue that they had with themselves. And it affected you because you were there for them 100%, and you were hoping that they wouldn't do something of that nature, whatever it is that they've done, breaking up with you, or the reason that they break up with you, whatever it is. You felt that it wasn't fair for the amount of quality that you gave them in their life. You didn't think that you deserved it, but it was something that they were dealing with. It's something that they have to resolve in their life, and they're gonna have to live with. And you get to let go of that the same way that they're letting go of it. You don't even know. They might even be going through the same thing you're going through now, and it doesn't come across like that, but they're just dealing with it differently. They might actually be going through just as much pain as you're going through now as well, because remember, it might have been their issue.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, he would say to me, when it was all going down, and I was like, are you really going to do this? Like, is this, do you realise that after this, we can't, like, this is just going to be terrible, like, we won't be able to be friends, I'm going to be heartbroken for months, like, are you really going to do this? And he was just like, I'm sorry, I know I don't think I can say this particular word while we're being recorded, but it's a rude word, and it begins to see. He's like, I'm sorry, I know I'm being a dick, should we say? I'm sorry.
You can say what you want, it's okay. As long as you can't say the word, it's cool.
And he would say, I'm sorry, I know I'm being a cunt to you, I'm sorry. And I was like, what? Like, but you know you're doing it, so what? And you have the power to change it, so why don't you just? And he was like, I'm sorry, I don't know why, I'm sorry, I know I'm being horrible, I'm sorry. And I was just, and for me, I would like, it was almost infuriating, because I couldn't, well, it was infuriating because it took me a while to understand this, but I couldn't understand it because that isn't the way I work. So I was projecting that I was projecting that onto him about why, like, well, how could you be a cunt to me when you know you're being a cunt, when you have the choice not to, but you're gonna do it anyway? Because to me, like, that's not how I work. So I couldn't understand it because I wanted to control it, because I was just like, what? But what? And then he'd say stuff like, you know, you think you're upset, like you don't understand, like you're gonna be upset now, but trust me, like I'm gonna be upset in like a year's time, and you're gonna be fine, and I'm gonna be cut up about this. Which again is just completely not like, I mean, we were very different characters from each other, different in maturity as well, but again, I didn't get that, because I was just like, what? Like, but this is happening now, so how can you tell me that you're going to be upset in a year's time because it's happening now? No, I don't know how he feels about anything now, because I don't have any contact with him. But yeah, it's, people can, I think also that was a painful thing for me to kind of accept, because I was with him for 3 years, so I thought I knew him better than for him to act like that, shall we say.
Yeah.
But it just shows you that people, like when you were saying, well, you don't know, he could be upset now about it, like, yeah, he could like, when, you know, when someone knows that they're being a cunt to someone, and I know that we were together 3 years, but I know obviously no matter how bad he treated me, I know he could have love for me, so for him to go through that is probably like, I mean, I don't know if it's just as painful, but it's probably still a painful experience if you know that you're hurting someone that you love or you have loved.
Yeah.
But
when you're on the receiving end of it, it's just easy to be like, I'm the victim.
Yeah.
You fucked my life up.
Exactly. And that's the thing I was saying about the whole forgiving thing, is that we have to take responsibility for how we're relating to these things, because everything that he said, as you was explaining it, I noticed that he was taking it on him. Like, it was like, I know that I'm messing up. It's like, he wasn't doing it because of you. He was doing it because of him. It's like something that he had to resolve for himself. It wasn't doing it because you're a bad person and you deserve it. It's like, no, like, I love you, but there's something about me that I need to solve. And like, it was like he was the victim. In that moment, he was the victim for whatever it is that he's dealing with. But you related to being, you're the victim because you love him and you care so much for him. You want the best for him, and you don't understand why he relates to this thing in a way that that you don't normally relate to it. Like, of course, if I say yes please to people, like on every single occasion, when I'm going to a bar, like for example, I say, oh, can you get me a brandy and coke please? And that's just my natural way of expressing myself, to say that to a bartender. And then I see someone next to me say, get me a coke. Like, in my eyes, I'm like, hold on, say please. But for him, he might not have grown up in that type of perspective, like thinking that please matters. So like, when we always get upset how someone deals with something because of how they've dealt with it, you have to think, hold on, it's because I've dealt with it differently, that's why I'm upset about it.
But you know,
that's the only reason I'm upset.
But there's another thing I think that's underneath it as well. There's that, because we might relate to it or project on them how we would actually deal with it. But the other thing is control. I know I keep bringing this up.
Control is a big one.
But it's because of, we want to be able to control. Like, but I wouldn't do that, so why are you doing that? You shouldn't do that. But if you're just like, But if you're in that place of, do you know what, I actually have no control over this person. You actually let go of trying to have control. Yeah, even though you may still think, well, I think this is the better way to operate, or maybe not the better way, but this is the way that I do, whatever you'd say, however you'd say it, like, please is necessary. You're not going to feel the hurt and the cut upness when the other person doesn't do it, because you're not trying to control that person doing it. And then you might even still express and be like, hey, you know, you can say please, but the place you're coming from, if you were to do it, I mean, it probably wouldn't even matter, but if you were, would be not from, but wait a second, you should say please, because that was rude and you shouldn't be that way. It's the control, like,
it's the control, man.
Well, how I'm seeing it anyway. I mean, like, that's how I'm seeing it. It's trying to control, like, even with what you just shared about your past boyfriend and like what he was saying about, like, oh, I know I'm being a cunt and I know this and know that, and that just kind of made me think a little bit of my past girlfriend and like some of the stuff she was coming out with.